What up, guys and girls? Another brand new video coming at you today. We are back for another brand new season of the SRL Championship APAC. This is season number 2, and this is my first full-time season after joining only midway through last season. I think my first race was back in Belgium, but this year I am going to have my voiceover on my SRL videos compared to last year, where I may have only just done like the one video, but I'm going to be compiling a highlights package from everybody's point of view. As you can see there, on board with Team Atmatic coming out of the pits. I wouldn't be worried too much at this early stage. It was only an out lap, so as you can see here, we are in the McLaren. That is my teammate ahead of me. Is that Matt? Yeah, it's going to be interesting. Like, this is probably a car that I wanted to drive a little bit, not necessarily because of Team Atmatic, but I really wanted to try my hand and have a crack at any different cars I could try before the new F1 game comes out. So we're underway here in qualifying. Looked a pretty, felt like a pretty okay run in this first run I had. Had a nice run coming out of this section. It was so good, but just go past Jetson there, who's on a cool down lap, I think. But coming through turn 11 and 12, some guys taking flat, but actually get put off a little bit by Is That Matt, and somehow I managed to only get a little bit of damage, or not a lot at all. But yeah, there's Exodona, probably not an ideal spot to be in, but bloody lucky that wasn't any worse. But in the end, I aborted the lap and came back in. And it was pretty frustrating not to have set a lap time at this early stage, but we've lost Death Bro already at this session, and we'll take a look at the replay here, and this is from the live stream on the SRL channel. I'll leave the YouTube channel link in the description below, but looks like he's had a massive loss through 11 and 12 there, but on board with his teammate now, Exodona. Now, there was a bit of a controversy here because there was a possibility of blocking during qualifying with Jetson, because I think Jetson may have been on a fast lap here, so then Jetson had to abort it, but wasn't exactly too thrilled with Exodona, and that pretty much sums it up there. So yeah, those two are definitely not off to the greatest start there, but put on another set of ultra soft tyres. Just had a look at the timing screen there. You can see there Warden is currently leading. I don't think I can get into the 121s. It's a dead set long shot, but there was a few other guys besides myself that didn't actually set fast laps, which I was pretty surprised about, but I tried going out early to get a bit of clean air because there wasn't too many guys out on the track. So get a good run there through the turn 1-2 section here. Get a bit of DRS as well. But this back section here took it beautifully, much better than the first time around actually. But just cut up. We're going to stay on board here for the rest of the lap. But now coming into turn 13, get a good run there, coming through there, and cut back to turn 14, back to the 5th gear. You can use 6th gear around here, but coming into the second last corner here, just get a little bit twitchy there with the rear end, but you look at get a pretty good run here out of the final corner. Let's see what we can do. Don't think it's going to be quick enough, so we set a 122.4, I think it is, which puts us in effective P7. But yeah, I think that was pretty much it. I stayed out of everybody's way as much as I could, because I actually ran out of fuel, which was maybe not exactly silly of me, but it was probably going to be a long shot whether I could get back in time and get maybe put on another set. But I wasn't really too fussed at all, just keeping out of everybody's way, like I said. But in the end, I just retired from the session because there wasn't really much point in the end. So thank God for the ghosting system. But again, another view from the live stream. I think Jetson may have copped a 5-place grid penalty earlier, but that's an interesting way to end his qualifying session. But yeah, we end up, I think, P9 in the end. So all in all, it wasn't really too bad. I was probably expecting a few other guys to maybe pop up in front of me, but yeah, like I said earlier, Jetson didn't actually set a lap time, and he's starting from the rear of the grid anyway. I think someone else may have started from the rear. I'm not really too sure, but getting on to the race strategy, it's only a one-stop here around Australia. It is overcast as well, so I think the one-stop is a dead set given here. I don't think anybody will try two-stop or anything, so not going to really muck around here with this is the formation lap here. That's Jetson, and in getting tangled up with Pomps for the win, and I think there's a few guys that got disqualified from the formation lap, which was probably not ideal for them, but here we go. We're all set for season 2 of SRL. 5 red lights. Very long hole, but let's go around Albert Park, and it's a pretty good start actually. We've put up nearly alongside Pomps for the win. Got Zombie Hunter not too far behind. Go probably as deep as we can, but probably went a little bit too deep there, and it's compromised our line going out of turn 2 there. And actually Zombie Hunter's going to have a look here up the inside going into turn 3. There's a lot of kerfuffle going on here in front of us. Managed to hold off Zombie for the time being, but oh, there's a spin already, and we tangle up with Zombie. Somehow didn't get any damage after all that, but we lose a couple of spots. We lost out to Zombie and Pomps to the win, but I think that's neontreedome in the Red Bull. He's struggling a lot here. I think he may have copped a little bit of front wing damage from that kerfuffle we just saw. We'll check all the replays a bit later, but Zombie goes through. Pomps tries to go around the outside. I think he'll get it done as well, so not the greatest start for neontreedome. We're holding off Death Bro at the moment, who's coming back through the field after what happened through qualifying, but you can see there Neon just runs a little bit wide there, and probably that front wing is not really helping at this stage, but excuse me, and also Pomps to the win pits as well, so he must have copped a bit of front wing damage as well. So those two not off to the greatest of starts, and a few others probably the same, but anyway, we push on. We're continuing on here. We go on to lap 2, and there's a bit more yellow flags back there at turn 4, at the turn 3-4 section there. So looks like someone may have had a little bit of kerfuffle there. But as you can see there, we're not really too far behind Zombie. We probably keep it around here, which is currently with P6 at the moment. But now to lap 3, and there's more yellow flags. Oh no, we've lost Pomps for the win. So he may have had a tangle with somebody there, and yeah, his race has just gone downhill, but now my teammate's in the lane as well. And coming through this section, turn 9-10 wasn't really a great corner for me, you'll see throughout this video, but here's a replay from Jetson's view from the start, and he actually gets a pretty good start, but cops a bit of front wing damage from Conrad Strait, I think it is, who didn't have the best starts. He's on the soft tyres. Yes, there's a few others there, and he's going around the outside of my teammate. It's a nice move there from Jetson. You probably could tell from the new graphics as well. I hope you like them. I made them myself, but yeah, it goes up the inside of Katia Foyle, who is a new one here to SRL as well. But you see here all the kerfuffles just happen here. Manages to avoid all of that, so he's up into P12 already. So that's a good comeback from Jetson. He's got to look around the outside of Penske here in the other Williams. It doesn't quite have enough at the moment, but don't think you want to sit around behind Penske too much longer. As you'll see here, going down the inside here at turn 9 and gets it done. So up 7 spots already, with probably a bit of luck going his way as well. But back we go to Penske's start. It's a pretty good start compared to my teammate, who actually had a pretty shocking start there. That might explain a lot, but yeah, Penske taking it real nice and easy going into turn 1, trying to avoid all the kerfuffle through the turn 1-2 area, because it can happen. That's Mitchie there off to the left in the Haas. His teammate Owens was not here this weekend. He had other commitments, but you see here, looking at all this chaos through here, just manages to avoid Mitchie's rear end, only just. But now here's the replay from Mitchie's point of view. It's a pretty good start, but can't quite get around both the Renault boys. As he comes into turn 1, probably just goes a little bit too deep and loses part of his front wing. So yeah, his race is not off to a great start either, but I think it's going to probably get a little bit worse with all this kerfuffle that happened up here at turn 4. That's I think possibly Exodona. You see here all this kerfuffle still going on, and it's actually pushed a little bit wide there, and he's losing a heap of spots here actually. So that's not the great stuff he wanted, but as you'll see here, he won't muck around here with Katia Fall, who's not wasn't exactly the quickest throughout this this race. And I must also mention that he is actually Zombie's Hunter's brother, but Exodona run very wide there. I think it was out of 13. And there's neontreedome just hanging on for dear life with that front wing damage, but now Zombie Hunter's view. This will be interesting to see what happened between himself and him, but coming down into turn 1, you can see there how deep we went compared to trying to get past Pomps for the win, but compromised my line a lot, and you can see there Zombie didn't muck around and got the position back. He went up the inside there. We held on for the time being. We were still there, but you can see here all the melee. Somehow Zombie didn't get away with damage and got out of it pretty well, actually, and you've probably seen earlier that he got past neontreedome. Now, neontreedome's point of view. This will probably be interesting to see what happens here with what happened at turn 4. It's a pretty good start there. That's DRC Jared going right around the outside. So he got the move done early. It's dropped him back to P7, but nearly 4 wide. I think that's, sorry, 3 wide, I should say. And he goes a little deep and cops a bit of front wing damage, bashing up the rear end of his teammate. But now it's just been made worse thanks to, I think, DRC Jared may have tagged his teammate HO there and got the warning for his troubles as well. But coming through this fast turn 11-12 sector, and yeah, no front wing doesn't really help a lot. So it was actually a lot more than I predicted. I was thinking it was only a little bit, but he actually pitted at the end of the lap anyway to get it changed. So his race was off to a good start. Now HO, you see they're battling there with teammate Marnik and Relentless up there in the Toro Rosso. That's DRC Jared up the inside there. I think that's New Zealand Ryan there off to the right, but you can see there, yep, I think that's a dead set tap there from DRC Jared. He probably copies penalty for sure, but it's dropped HO all the way back to 17th after that. But again, another replay from Pomps for the win. Gets an okay start compared to him. So, and I'll leave everybody's YouTube channels who have videos from SRL. I'll leave them down in the description below. But gets a good start. You can see they're right behind neontreedome there, and you see here going nearly. Looked like it was nearly 4 wide, but it was only 3 wide actually. But you see here, Jared will go up the inside there, and Poms is right smack bang. Thankfully, Jared ghosted, but unfortunately, HO didn't, and he's got front wing damage as well. So it's not off to a great start, and he has to pit as well at the end of the lap to get his front wing changed. So both he and neontreedome are back at the rear of the pack. And this is going to be a long stint, I dare say, for... Well, it was probably going to be a long stint for Pomps to the win, but we'll see what happened when he retired. But he's coming through turn 13. There's another yellow flag. It's my teammate, and oh no, that's really awkward. There's my teammate there, but back we go with Michi. Had a shocking run out of that 11-12 sector and section, and lost a spot to Exodona. Exodona has a little tail wag coming out of 13. Does Michi have a look? No, Exodona, I think, pulled away, and actually Michi pitted at the end of that lap anyway. I think he was going to try and get the front wing changed, but unfortunately he didn't. So he's put the super soft tyres on. Now this is back we go with DRC Jared, who's literally revving the engine limiter out of that thing in the Mercedes, but gets the move done on Conrad, who is on the soft tyres. But he's trying to make his way back through the field here again. Matt is, my teammate's lagging all over the joint here, and they actually tangle these two. And well, if Jared's day could get any worse, that's probably what it could happen. But it's a little bit sideways, and Matt tried to go up the inside there, I think, and goes off into the grass. So his race was off to a brilliant start there as we cut back to us on lap 4. Got our first warning there for running wide at turn 1. And you can see there, just again, turn 9-10 was not one of my favourite corners at all, but just look at that understeer. Cop our second warning, and not long later we cop our third warning and our first 3-second time penalty. So not exactly great, but you can see there we're under attack from Death Bro, who is on the super soft tyres, but now does have a little bit of pace up his sleeve here. But whoever said you can't pass in Australia, well, you can. Whereas Death Bro proved just then, but you could probably tell the rear tyres were starting to have burned up a little bit there. But he was thinking about holding on to Death Bro, but got Jetson not far behind, and I think Penske's somewhere in there as well. But Mitchy's back in again on lap 4. Now changing the front wing, still on another set of super soft tyres. Probably could have gone to the end there, but unfortunately Tiamat Martix had a bit of a moment there, and he actually went all the way down to third gear, which has happened, because double shifted back into third gear, which has happened. I've had that happen before, so Ben, you are not alone in that department there. But now back we go to us, and we're losing the rear end big time. That's probably telling you that the tyres are really burnt up now. They've lost a little bit of ground to Death Bro, but coming through turn 1 and 2, run a little bit wide there, and just get a little bit taily, and yeah, we're now in the wall. We've damaged the front wing, which has really helped my cause. Felt we were in a really good battle there with Jetson, but yeah, it's just all gone downhill now. I'm probably going to have to pit at the end of this lap anyway. Probably do a long step. But this is what it looked like from Jetson's view. You just see there goes the rear end. There was no contact in there whatsoever. And Jetson's still coming back through the field up into P7. So, and just like neontreedome through this section, no front wing, a little damaged front wing, I should say. Not really helping a lot, but we do in the end pit at the end of the lap, and going to have to change this front wing just so I can, well, hopefully drive the car better instead of understeering all over the joint. But soft tyres are going to go on here. It's going to be a very long 23 lap stint on the 23 lap stint on these tyres. So, but something I'm willing to try anyway, just to get any points as best we can. But we're going to come out with a bit of fresh air. We're 14th behind. I'm not exactly sure who was in 14th there, but coming to the pits, nearly bugger it up. Have a little bit of a lock up there, and but now Tiamat Martix comes into the lane. He's joined by a few others there, with New Zealand Ryan and Relentless as well here. And actually Ben gets a little bit held up here, and I think that may have been Relentless actually, but there is a little bit of word around it. Relentless may have been Dominator, but I'm not really going to get involved in that. In that story, I don't really want to in the end. But now we've called up to Katia Foyle. That's who we were behind when we came out of that pit stop. So you see there he's really struggling, and I don't really want to muck around here behind him. So we're going to see if we can probably try and dive bomb down into turn 1. Down the inside we go. Probably went in too deep in the end, but still hanging on here. We have to shift back all the way down to third. But we're going to have to try right around the outside here, but doesn't quite give us enough room. We lock up, but tried to crisscross here, and have to do around the outside. Give him a little bump, and I think he may have span out at the end, but yeah, that's now up into P13, and yeah, explain a lot. Now Penske's in to the lane. I think Jetson's in. The Zombie. Literally, Zombie just came out right literally in front of Penske. So thankfully for the ghosting system, it really works. But yeah, there's the replay again from Jetson's pit stop, and he did change the front wing in the end, and putting on the the soft tyres, I should say. Most of these guys will probably go to the end on these tyres, but there'll be an interesting rejoin when he does come out of the pits here, because there's his old mate Exodona, just comes out in front of him, and I don't think Jetson mucked around behind him in the end. But yeah, coming through this section here now, fortunately neontreedome, we've lost him. Unfortunately, I think he may have had a connection issue or something, but there we go through his ghosted car. That's a real shame, because he did have pace. I dare say he would have been fighting in the top 10 there, but here's Mitchy. going very wide there. Probably Katia Foil had something to do with that, but it wasn't too long before he tries to go around the outside there of him and gets it done. Pretty simple, really. We should start to pull away here a bit, does Mitchie, but you see coming through now. No, we've lost DRC Jarrett. But let's have a look at the replay. I don't think this is what ended it, but this may have started it. So he gets a little bit taily out of turn 10. Hits the wall as well, coming out of it. But just watch what happens when he goes through turn 11. Probably takes a little bit too much curb, takes the bollard with him, and ends up in the gravel trap. But that's not what ended him in the end. Thankfully, he didn't lose a spot in the end because he's basically on his own. But yeah, you'll see here on board with Penske. You'll see off to the right, that's how Jarrett's race finished, somehow in the pit lane. Don't know whether he deliberately crashed or whether he accidentally did it, but Penske's making the move here on the Conrod straight. Up the inside he goes into turn 1 and gets it done. So Penske making some moves. I think Conrod's been on those tyres since lap 1, but back to our point of view, get another corner cut warning. Probably seemed a little bit harsh, but I haven't probably had a proper look. Well, I had 4 wheels off, but Jetson now gets the move done on Conrod. Now back up into P8. So it's been a good recovery for Jetson earlier on in this race. Now he's going to have a look up the inside of Penske here, but you'll see here in a moment that Penske actually lets him go by because, yeah, it makes it fairly simple there. I think Jetson's got a lot of pace. Could probably get back up into the top 5, which would be a miraculous recovery. But now on to lap 13, we've called up to the back of Exodona, who is on the super soft tyre. So I think he's possibly on to the 2-stop. We get actually a great run going out of the final corner there. We've got DRS. He does have DRS possibly as well, but going to go right around the outside. Can we outbrake him into turn 1? Probably do. He backed out of it, but run very wide, and that didn't really help. And now we're going to have to do all that work again, but it won't be too long before we do catch up. But cop another warning through turn 11. Probably took way too much curb out of that one, but now we cut to laps. What is it? 15, I think, and we cop our. I think that's a second 3-second time penalty, so now up to 6 seconds worth. So you can see now we've caught up with the Exodona, who's caught up to Conrod, who again is going on the longer strategy on these soft tyres. So I dare say by now his tyres will be starting to feel the worn effects. But you can see both of us are trying to get positions here. I want to try and get both Exodona and Conrod, but Exodona wants to get past Conrod here. He will do. Up the inside he goes at turn 9. Makes it stick, and we're going to go right around the outside of Conrod and not muck around at all and get that spot as well. So now cut a bit further on into the lap, and Exodona doesn't have the greatest exit out of that corner. Runs a lot wide into the turn 14. But thought about going into turn 15, but I didn't want to risk it because I don't really like that corner for passing. But you see we can get a great run here. Runs a little bit wide out onto the dirt, but you can say this is nearly like take 2 again here for turn 1. Going to hold it. This time we just managed to hold on just, but to get a little bit sideways. Still banging wheels with him. Now coming into turn 3, we're going to have to go right around the outside here. Managed to just hold on. Gives us a little nudge, pushes us wide. We think about it going up the inside. It was probably a bit of a risky move in the end, but get a little bit sideways and get a little bit of front wing damage. But in the end, I was going to persist with that front wing damage anyway. But now cut on to lap 17. We're now still right behind him. But while we've been fighting, we've been losing time to the guys in front. I think next one in front possibly could be Penske, but this is not really for the final spot in the points, but is the battle for more points. But we now have a bit more of a chance, and now we're going to push Exodona wide. That was pretty good racing between the both of us, and now my teammate's back into the lane again. So he's had a shocking day, is that Matt. But now let's see what pace we kind of got. But now we're back with all with Mitchie, who's still battling with good mate his good mate Katia Foyle. He's been battling him nearly all race, but Amici gets that pretty simple move done and is back up into 14th. He's pretty much had a shocking run there, and he actually lets, I think it was Jetson through, but Katia Foyle goes up the inside, barges him out of the road and gets that spot back, but Mitchie's going to have none of this. Let's see what he can do coming through turn 5. Runs very wide out of there does Katia Foyle, but now 6. Mitchie has a good run compared to Katia Foyle. There's a little bit of blocking there, or it could have been lag, I'm not really too sure, but goes to the outside line there. Can Mitchie get a good run here out of this corner? Yes, he does. Just gets on the grass a bit too much and loses momentum a little bit. Now he cut a bit further into the lap, or yeah, I think it is. I'm not really too sure, but a bit too focused on this battle between these two. But Mitchie probably be trying to get a bit of DRS, and now he's lost his part of his front wing again. So it's been a real shocker for Mitchie. Way down the field, possibly could have been battling for the points, but he may persist with this front wing damage if he has to. May not be affecting him, but he does get a good run here on him. Coming into turn 4, there's a bit more contact, and it's pushed Mitchie wide, and in the end he let a few guys through, and I think he did catch up in the end. We might see that a little bit later, but cop another warning there at turn 2. It really stuck that corner, but yeah, lock up here into turn 3. That probably didn't help my cause one little bit. Did have plenty of tyre life and a bit of fuel up our sleeve, but yeah, that was a real shocker of a corner, that one was. But we do catch up to Mitchie, who does come back into the lane, I think, to fix that front wing he got from Katia Foyle, but yeah, it's really disrupted his race. Now back we go to Jetson, who's battling my teammate, who is a lap down, but Matt was trying to get out of the way here, and Jetson was going to go out to the right-hand side, and now he's got more front wing damage, so possibly that top 5 is now out the window with the contact with my teammate, but yeah, now there's our third warning. The 3-second time penalty, so that's now 9 seconds worth, so we're doing really well here, and I don't understand. I didn't really feel like it was 4 wheels off the track, but if you think differently, then please let me know down in the comments below. But this is a real great battle for 5th and 6th between Zombie Hunter and Iron Death Bro. Going into turn 1, Death may have a good run here. Zombie runs a little bit wide, cops a warning for his troubles. These two have nearly been separated at the end of this race. They've lost a bit of ground here to 4th place, which I think is, I can't really tell, possibly Relentless. And we'll have to come back to that battle and see what's going on. But yeah, it's the same old story really. Run a bit wide, cop another warning there. I think I'm nearly close to possibly getting 12 seconds worth of penalties, but this battle's still going on between Zombie Hunter. On board with Zombie we go, and Death Bro has a little look up the inside. Thought about it, but didn't quite have enough in the end. But let's see what these two can do, because it's coming up to the final lap now. Let's see if Death can actually get a good run here out of the final couple of corners there. And he may have a good run here. Zombie's going well off into the inside line. They're just trying to break that slipstream, but Death has got plenty of speed. He might have a good run here out of turn 2. Yeah, turns 1 and 2. Yes, Zombie does cover the inside line, but Death's going to have to go the long way here. Down into turn 3 we go. Holds him off for the time being. Death is going to chuck it in there, but doesn't quite have enough, and I think that battle may be over, I think. But yeah, there we go, onto our final lap, and yeah, there you go. I did say it wasn't too far away. Now we've got 12 seconds worth of penalties, and I was pretty worried because HO was coming like a rocket. But these two, Jetson and Penske, were having a little bit of fun coming to the finish line, and Penske did finish up in 7th, but I think with penalties, finished up back in the P8. But we come home with the penalties in P9, but it will be P10 in the end because, like I said, HO was coming like a dead set rocket. But yeah, there's your podium. Warden, Team Atmatic, and New Zealand Ryan. Congrats to those guys. Pretty dominant performance, and yeah, Warden possibly could be stepping out of the shadow that he has been behind New Zealand Ryan this last season anyway. But yeah, there's the results on your screen. Plenty of us got penalties. A few of us didn't, which was pretty surprising there. But what can I say? We would have been pretty happy to get 2 points, but it was in the end just the 1 point that you can see there. There's just plenty of warnings on this list. You probably have to pause through them just to go through it. But there's the championship standings. Wouldn't get really too excited. It is early in the stage, but next round will be the Bahrain Grand Prix, which is coming up this coming Friday, I believe. I'm not sure exactly when this video will come out, but yeah, not a bad start. But that's pretty much going to do it today, guys and girls. So if you did enjoy it, be sure to give it a big smash on that like button. Comment down below on what you thought about that race. Subscribe to my channel for plenty more league racing content, whether it be SRL, AOR, TOR when it starts up again. You know the deal. But give me a follow on all my social media links, and I'll leave all the links to everybody's channels that I got the videos involved in. But for the moment, guys and girls, it is goodbye, and I'll see you all next time.